Connor's personal digital journal. Entry 1, camping trip, day 1, 11:38 p.m. We finally made it. The drive out here was brutal, but we made it. I swear Jason and Luke wouldn't stop bickering the whole second half of the drive. 5 more minutes of listening to that, and I was going to tell them both to shut the hell up. They quieted down after we arrived, though. I think the stress of the hike and trying to find a good site kept everyone a bit anxious, but after an hour of searching, we were finally able to find a place to set up camp, and it is beautiful. Totally worth it. The site is in an absolutely perfect clearing, about the size of a football field, with grass so green it almost glows, thick and soft underfoot, like a carpet. Massive trees surround us in a giant circle, giving the whole space such a peaceful and secluded vibe. But the best part, by far, is the lake. It's so perfectly still. It looks like a pane of glass stretching out for miles. A slight breeze carries its incredibly fresh scent through the air constantly. The low sloshing of the waves is like music. It's so peaceful there. Not a disturbance in sight. No birds, no bugs. I feel like I could stay there for hours, just hanging out by it. The only downside is that there's no cell signal at all. But hey, maybe that's for the best. This way, we can really disconnect and appreciate the nature around us. It took us about an hour to set up all our tents. Thank God for Mike. If it weren't for him, none of us would know what the hell we were doing, and it probably would have taken us ages to finish getting set up. Thankfully, though, the quick setup gave us the opportunity to take a swim in the lake before it got dark. The water was warmer than I expected, like it had been waiting for us. The air was cool, even chilly, but the lake was a different world entirely. It seemed to soak up the cold and offer back a comforting warmth. We had to practically drag Jason out when the sun started going down. Even all throughout the evening, as we cooked and ate dinner, he seemed distracted, staring back at the lake. Can't say I blame him, though. That swim was beyond words. I'm excited to get back out there, too. For now, though, it's time for bed. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I have a feeling this trip is going to be just what I needed to help me wind down and get a break from the stress of work and life in the city. Entry 2, Day 2, 10:04 p.m. Jason was gone when I woke up this morning. Found him standing waist-deep in the lake, just staring. He said he couldn't sleep, just wanted one more dip. His lips were pale, but he didn't shiver. He's been going back there constantly. In the morning, after lunch, before dinner. He keeps telling us we don't get it. It's starting to get a little weird. The lake is amazing, but it feels like it's all he's been thinking about. He hasn't said a word that doesn't have to do with the lake. Ryan and I are starting to get worried. We've been keeping an eye on him. Luke and David aren't taking it seriously at all, though. They just keep making jokes and telling us to let him do his own thing. It's just weird, though. They're probably right, but I just can't shake this bad feeling I'm getting in the pit of my stomach. What if it's not nothing? Entry 3, Day 3, 3:14 a.m. I was woken up around 1 a.m., heard something moving outside my tent, peeked out, saw Jason walking toward the lake, barefoot, no flashlight. Mike, Ryan, and I had to go and convince him to come back to his tent. We spent like 30 minutes practically begging him to get out and come sleep. He kept saying he'd be fine, and we should just go back and get some rest. Mike even gave up and did exactly that. Ryan and I refused, though. It's dangerous for him to be swimming out there all alone at night. He could drown. In the end, we were finally able to get him to come back to his tent. But something weird is definitely going on, and I'm starting to feel paranoid. Entry 4, Day 3, 4:34 p.m. Jason's gone. When we woke up, I went to go check his tent to make sure he was okay, and it was just empty. We tried looking for him all around the lake, found his footprints leading to the lake shore. That was the only sign he left behind. We decided to leave. This is all just getting way too crazy and out of hand. We need to tell someone about Jason, but we can't call anyone because none of us have any signal. We packed up and headed northeast. That's the way we came in. 3 hours later, we were back at the lake. Even Mike doesn't know how we ended up back here, and he's the most experienced camper any of us know. No one's laughing now, not even Luke. This is serious. We need to find our way out of here. Entry 5, Day 4, 10:05 p.m. Luke's acting weird, staring at the water whenever we're near it, not responding unless you say his name twice. He kept mumbling earlier. I caught a few words. It keeps calling. What keeps calling? I asked. He didn't respond. Luke. What keeps calling? I asked again, louder this time. This seemed to snap him out of it. What? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. I let it go, because I honestly didn't know what else to do. But I'm keeping an eye on him now. Entry 6, Day 5, 2:41 a.m. Luke's gone. I woke up to the sound of a splash and came running out of my tent. By the time I made it to the lake, though, all I saw was a small trail of bubbles rising to the surface. Went immediately back to check Luke's tent, and as I suspected, he was gone. This is really bad. We need to find a way out of here as soon as possible. Entry 7, Day 5, 10:41 p.m. We can't get out. Every route we take, north, south, even in straight lines, we end up back here. Mike's leading the charge on the escape efforts. He came up with the idea of drawing maps as we tried different routes and marking trees. It hasn't worked yet, but it feels like we're making progress. The marked trees are at least helping us feel less lost, even if the forest eventually leads us back. I'm starting to feel at least a little more hopeful that maybe if we keep at it, we can find a way out of here. Entry 8, Day 6, 12:32 p.m. Mike's been feeling the lake's pull. He's been fighting it, and Ryan, David, and I have been encouraging him to keep resisting. It feels like a losing battle, though. I can sense his mind wandering towards the lake. Sometimes I catch him staring at it or mumbling to himself. This is going from bad to worse. Mike is our last hope. If he doesn't snap out of it, we're done for. Entry 9, Day 6, 6:06 p.m. We had to restrain Mike. He kept insisting on going for a swim in the lake. He kept saying, "Just a quick swim, 5 minutes can't hurt. After that, we'll keep trying to find a way out." We obviously didn't let him. He got so mad he tried running away from us and just started booking it straight towards the lake. David and I luckily were able to catch up to him. We had to tackle him and hold him down just to keep him from throwing himself in the lake. We ended up tying him to a tree. All we can do now is hope that if we leave him be long enough, whatever trance the lake has him in wears off. He's furious, says he's fine, says he just wanted to check something, but his eyes, they're glassy. In the meantime, we're continuing with the plan to map out escape routes and mark trees, but I have a feeling that we're not going to make much progress without Mike. Entry 10, Day 7, 5:15 p.m. Mike's been acting normal again. He says he's over it, says he doesn't know what came over him, but now he feels clear-headed again, that he just needed time to shake it off. We're not sure whether or not to believe him. His eyes aren't glassy anymore, and he genuinely does seem like he's gotten better. I don't know though, I still just have a really bad feeling about it in the pit of my stomach. Can't explain why. It's just a gut feeling I have. Ryan and David want to untie him, but I keep telling them not to. In the end, majority rules, and they decided to untie him. I guess I can't blame them. We weren't making any progress on the escape efforts without him, and we're almost out of food and water now. I hope they didn't just make a huge mistake, but only time will tell. Entry 11, Day 8, 4:03 a.m. I woke up to someone slowly and subtly opening my tent. Despite their obvious efforts to keep quiet, I'm a light sleeper, and I started to stir as I heard the sound of the zipper opening. The last thing I remember is lifting my eyelids a bit, still half asleep, and seeing Mike, a big rock clutched in his hand. My eyes immediately shot wide open as my groggy brain struggled to put the pieces together of what was happening. It was too late. My whole world went black as Mike hit me on the head with the rock. I have no idea how much time passed before I regained consciousness. I woke up to the sound of something heavy hitting the water. I opened my eyes just enough to see Mike carrying David's limp body into the lake. Ryan laid beside me, a few feet away, also completely limp and unconscious. I closed my eyes and tried to stay as still as possible, desperately trying to think of a plan. A minute later, I heard footsteps, followed by the rustling sound of someone being dragged across the forest floor, and knew that Ryan was done for. At that moment, I made a split-second decision that saved my life. I knew what I needed to do. I just had to make sure I executed it well. Heart pounding, I waited silently for the perfect moment, watching Mike stand knee-deep in the lake's ink-black water, his hands cold and steady as he hoisted Ryan's lifeless body. Then with a swift motion, he flung it into the shadowy depths, where the darkness swallowed it whole. A splash and a faint trail of bubbles rising to the surface, the only trace Ryan ever left behind. Then I got up and ran towards him as fast as I could, hit him hard in the back as he was recovering from the physical exertion of just having thrown two bodies into the lake. He splashed forward several yards into the water and vanished. No thrashing, just another trail of bubbles. After that, I shakily made my way back to my tent. Entry 12, Day 8, 6:51 p.m. It's just me now. I've been searching for a way out of here all day, but to no avail. I'm tired. I need to rest. The forest is still silent. The water is beautiful this evening, calm, inviting. I've been strong, stronger than the rest. I've resisted the pull this long. One swim, that's all. Just one. It'll help me relax and rejuvenate so that I can keep searching for a way out of here. I can come back out. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do.